Hi everybody, thanks for joining us today again. Today we will be discussing about applications and tools for the developers. We have invited two speakers for today's discussion. The first one is Mr. Julien. He is the Overseas Marketing Director at Game Creator. He will be presenting his ideas on topic mastering blockchain. Let me tell you a little more about Game Creator. Game Creator is the world's leading visual game maker on the blockchain. The lecture presented by Mr. Julien intends to help you get ready for game development by introducing the modules of Game Creator DX. The second speaker is Mr. Xiao. He is the CEO of White Matrix, and he will be presenting a speech on the topic Architecture of Blockchain Game. Discussion of his lecture include architecture and gameplay of the blockchain game, reconstructing and socializing gameplay on the dimensions of blockchain technology, and case studies on cell evolution and last trip, the game developed by White Matrix, to explore the practical applications of the open source project Genesis and the decentralized player community. If you have any questions during these lectures, you can ask in the end in the YouTube comment section as well as in our Discord server. So now I would like to invite Mr. Julien to present his speech. Mr. Julien, you are ready to go.
Hello everyone, my name is Julien. I am the Overseas Manager in Game Creator. Today, I'm introduced the Game Creator DX to you. Game Creator DX is a visual tool for you to create in the game, which also include the blockchain games. Before we talk about the Game Creator DX, I would like to introduce you the Game Creator, which is the master version of the Game Creator DX. You probably will ask a question, what's the difference between the Game Creator and the DX? So the answer is, DX was the branch version of the Game Creator, and it will have most of the feature from the Game Creator, plus the integration ability to the blockchain. In Game Creator, most of the games are created by the existing templates, such as RPG, SRPG, and AVG, and so on. So most of our creators, they creating their games with existing template, but there's still some advanced user, they can also even create their own template. Here is some showcases for our excellent games. All of them are created by the game creator using the different template. As we just introduced, you can create game by the different templates using the game creator. And now we're going to introduce the different type of the template and their demo games. So let's first start with the Arpg game. So this is a demo game we created, and someone is calling help and help me, and we can WASD to move around this little guy with no hairs, and there's a stick on the ground. We pick it up. All right, let's go ahead. Now the guidance says mouse click to attack and space to quickly move. And well, this one is pretty aggressive. Let's tackle him. So we hit him. He hit us. Well, HP is decreasing, and oh yeah. Now we level up and we got a skill. Something like a strike. Yeah. This helps us to tackle down faster. Okay, so let's hit and run. Oh, well, my bad skill, but anyway. One another, this one. All right, so in this game template, we got the different systems like mission system. Say now we're gonna choose save and figure out someone who calling for help. And the item system, we can use this is item and this is equipment, and we put this equipment. We got this equipment, and we have a head, and we have a. Now is the people interface. So we're gonna to equip our sticks and then pull down something other. Okay, we can just pull down the sticks, but this increasing our attack, and we can try. Wow, this is amazing. Wow, this guy is aggressive. All right, we have our mission completed. Oh yeah, we have another skill, which is AoE, and we almost complete this game, complete this mission. Now we have a conversation with this NPC, and the NPC is bringing us to somewhere. Oh yeah. Hey, okay. There's village in the front, and take a run there. Okay. Cool. So this is a start for our ARPG game. So you can modify the NPC behavior, and you can customize the systems like item system, equipment system, and the skill set system. Everything you can customize. So now let's move on to the next one. Before we move to the next one, I would like to show you how many things we can customize and modify ourselves from the template. So we open this ARPG template. And we move to the scenes village. So here is the village I just demoed. Here's the NPC. And in Game Creator, you can drag and release a new characters here as an NPC. And you can set the event for this NPC to interact with users and players. As I just mentioned, almost everything in this template can be modified. So let's click here, database. For example, if we move to skill, we can see all the skills we just used in the demo. So this is the strike one, and this is the AoE. So for this AoE set, it can affect to all enemies, or we can change it into only affect to the teammates. Let's change it back. For this one, it is only affected to single enemy, and we can set some using condition for him, such as only could be used in battle, or it could be also used when not in battle. We will set it only used in battle. And we can also change the hit ratio from 100% into 90. We could also change the cooldown time from 1 to 0. The MP cost could be also changed from 0 to anything. Let's change it back. Here we can change if this skill will take the damage and what type of the damage it takes. First is the physical damage and magic damage, and actual damage, or healing, or the MP healing. And we can also choose if these skills will cause in the hate. In this template, we have the hating systems. Currently, if we use this set skill to the enemy, it will cause in 10 hates increasing. Let's move on to the next one. Equipment system. Look at these sticks. It's quite familiar, huh? So this is the sticks we pick up from the first page when we land. Here it will decide which part it could be equipped as a equipment or on the head or on body or on the foot or as an apparel. So this one is a weapon. So we set it as a weapon. And we can choose if player could sell it, and it could sell for 9,000. Here is the notifications when we pick it up. Here is a stick. And this is a funny version of the notification. Not gentleman stick. And the type of this equipment is the equipment, not the item. Here we can set the parameters of this equipment. How many HP it will increase. Let's say 10. How many attack it will increase. It is 50 now. And how many magic MP it will increase. And agile and hit ratio and critical hit ratio, or even moving speed, defense, SP, and magical defense. It could also be set into some status, such as buff and debuff. When we play the game, we also figure out there's a lot of the interface. They are in Chinese version. And I'm going to change it from Chinese to English, and you can see how many flexibility this game creator will provide you. Here is the people. Just double click. Here is the name. Let's click apply. Oops. Test. People. Let's zoom in a little bit. Oh, that's too much. Let's change it as status. The next one is mission. We change the text from Chinese to English. Make the font a little bit small and make it larger. And this one is item. I'm going to make it capitalized. Okay. Here's the skills. And then we change the items into items. Equipments into equipments. Click apply here. Then I'm going to show you the animation systems, which is pretty straightforward. If you have some experiences with Flash before, I think you will get quite familiar. So here, some dots is the keyframe. And here is the different layers. For example, so this is the first animation for the skill, strike, and let's play it. Let's try to add another animation here. So just drag and release. Therefore, so I add 4 here. I'm going to move them together. They're both here. Then I move the timeline into the first frame and change some position. So it will automatically generate the keyframe. Here is the effect. So we can also add something here in the middle. Choose this one, go here, and that one, go there. Let's see the effect. In here, we can also change the color tone. The red, green, blue, and gray. We can also change the exposure. We can also change the rotation angle, transparency, and hue. Let me remove this. And do a different hue change. Let's see what happened there. When play, it will change the color. And we can see the sliding bar is also changing when we play it. So this is very straightforward and intuitive for our creators. And now I'm going to brief you the drawing system of Game Creator. Let's go here and create a new scene. AABBCC. Let's randomly name it. And you can figure out there's a layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3, and object layers and others, and obstacles, masks, and bridge, and appears. So this is pretty familiar like Photoshop, this software is having the layer, this concept. So let's go with the layer 1. And we can drag and drop these objects on object layers. Or we can remove them first. Let's draw some tile. So we can create a new block 1 layer, and we name it as tile. Now we can draw it, or we can select all of this to completely put 3 of it, and we use erase to erase rest of them. And we create another one, tile 2, to get some trees there. Okay, we place some tree and plant some bushes. Another type of the trees. You may ask, what if you directly draw the tree here? We can try it. So it will have this kind of the effect. It's not good. So I just undo. Now we zoom it a little bit. And back to this layer. Erase this one. And let's do some rocks on the ground. So we can drag and release. If it's not beautiful, we can put glass here. Oops. Undo too much. And grass. Put some lake in the middle. Maybe here. Another lake here. Then here's the mask layer and obstacles layer. We probably need obstacles to making sure the lake is not able to pass it through. Making sure players cannot climb in these positions. All right, so we're back to here and trying to build a bridge here and a bridge here. Because we already draw the obstacles here and we have another layers called bridge, we can also draw the bridge here. It will override the obstacles and allow the players to passing through this area. And finally, we switch back to the object layer and switch back here as well into the object. We draw a player here, little node here. Change the orientation. Now we see the little guy was disappeared. That's because the layers. If we move the object the layers a little bit upper to those layers, now the little guy has disappeared. All right. And we select a bone place for this little guy. So he will born here. And as usual, we put a stick on the ground for this little guy to pick it up. That's pretty much for the drawing systems. So you can use these systems to create the different scenes and maps for your games. All right, now I'm going to show you the blockchain version of this ARPG game. Let's run this game. So firstly, it will ask me for connected to my wallet. Let's click this button. It's asked me to click my ETH wallet, and here's my wallet. It will call out my wallet in the Chrome extension, and I'm unlocking. All right, and log in my account. Connecting. Yay, it's connected. And here is my wallet address. And let's say continued. All right, so in this interface, I think you are very familiar because you already saw my demo previously. And here's the sticks, as usual. Yeah, not a legitimate stick, I know. And here is the address for my wallet address because I already logged in. Let's have a conversation with this little guy. He told me you can't go there. He is blocking me at this moment. And let's have a conversation with this NPC, the little girl. Hello, how can I help you? So if you have no idea what this Chinese characters means, no worries. In the next session, we will hands-on you to create your own blockchain games. In that sessions, we will change these Chinese characters into the English one. So the first one is to get the name of the token. Let's click it. It will have the interaction with the wallet and got my token. My token name is test token. And second one is to get the balance of my token. Currently, I have 995 balance of my tokens. So here, the display is here. Let's click the third one, which is the transfer token. New address detected. Click here to add to your address book. Transfer. Yes, confirm. Now it says confirm your transaction. Because this is the online version, so it takes a while to confirm the transaction. And in this time, during this period, the game will be paused. Okay, the transaction is completed, and the transaction address is displayed, and the return number is 0, which means perfect. And we change the token balance again. All right. There's 15 tokens being transferred out. And let's see the fourth option, which is airdrop, the favorite feature I like. Contract interaction. Yes, airdrop token, pending. Confirmed. There we go. And let's check the balance again. Okay, now I get 1080 token. So let's talk with this little guy to see what happened. He said, all right, I will let you go. Seems like I figured out I met all the conditions. So now I can pass through. Now I go to the regular version. And now let me introduce to you what happened in backend for this blockchain integration. So we back to the game creators and switch the scene into the forest, not the regular, where the first play is here. So we move here, this little girl, NPC, we click it and switch to the event. The click event, it will show the task. Hello, how can I help you? And option for those options. So the first one is the get token name. Let's rename it. Get token name. And what happened here is we have the plugin for the ETH smart contract. So the plugin is here. You can use the plugin manager to figure out the ETH plugin is available and already loaded in this game. And now we can see the first option is the get token name. It will to check the name function with the smart contract address, which is previously being written into these variables. And do you remember when we start the game, it's asking us to connect the wallet. It was in the interface. So we back to the data and switch to the interface. And there is a interface called the wallet connection interface. And here's the button. And we can change the name from connect wallet. Then we choose this one, this button, and the common environment, and the click event. When we click this button, it will trigger a event to connect to the wallet and will pull the wallet address and write back to that variables. So in here, we can decide which variables or which string variables it's writes into the wallet address. So here we write into the 0004 these variables. So let's go back to the NPC events button. So the first one is to get token name. And we will tell you how to put your smart contract address into this string in the next session. And the second button is to get the token balance, get balance. So it will transfer the balance of this function to this smart contract address using the contract API and with your wallet address because you already log in with your wallet. And here is the token transfer. Transfer token. It will also call your smart contract using this string, using these variables within the ABI, and also using the transfer this function with this is the wallet address. And here is the numbers of the tokens. We can change every time we transfer more than 15. We change from 15 to 150. And confirm. And here is the airdrop. Airdrop token. It will call the airdrop function into your smart contract. And just change this, and we have a test run to see what happened. Okay, we connect the wallet. It's connected. I'm gonna move here to talk with little girl. Okay, get token name, test token, and let's try to transfer again. It should transfer 150 token. Yes, 150 TS, test the token. Let's say confirm. So this is pretty much for the first session. And in the next session, we will go through with you very detailedly how to create and integrate your game with the blockchain and smart contract. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mr. Julien, for introducing the modules of Game CreatorDX. This is really an awesome tool, and the lecture was really informative, and I hope it will help the viewers to have better understanding of Game CreatorDX as well as other RPG games. For now, we don't have any question from the audience, so let's move forward. I would like to invite Mr. Xiao, the CEO of White Matrix, to present his speech on topic architecture of blockchain games. So Mr. Xiao, you can start now.
Hello everyone, I'm Ling. It's a great pleasure for me to have this online session with all our friends. Today my topic is thinking in blockchain. We see the rise of blockchain games, including Town Stars, Axie Infinity, Dark Forest. There are tons of amazing blockchain games we can play nowadays. And actually, this is a world that we cannot imagine, because in the last period, I remember in about 2018, and I mean, the depth in the last period is really different from this period. So about 2017 November, we see Cryptokitties. It is the first step game that we can play. And for everyone, we can have our own cute kitties. And the kitty is related to a smart contract ERC 721, and it is stored on the blockchain. And in 2018, I think in January, we see crypto celebrities and the crypto countries. I mean, for these kind of games, they are like hot potatoes. So for these kind of hot potatoes, we can see there's one interesting phenomenon there, that the smart contract only ensure one thing, that if the buyer buys the NFTs, then his money will definitely go to the holder's account. This is the only thing inside this kind of hot potatoes and what solidities and other smart contracts can do in these games. And yeah, we see a lot of kind of hot potatoes at that time. And in 2018 May, I created a game called Cell Evolution. And it is a kind of a fun game. It is not Ponzi or hot potatoes. And for all the players, they can cultivate their own cells. And I will introduce it into details later. And in July, we see a Ponzi game, or we call it anti-Ponzi. It is called Formos ND. So why we call it anti-Ponzi? So for normal Ponzi games, in the end, the last holder will carry the bags, will be something like he lost a lot of Ethereums or carry the bags that he cannot sell it anymore. But for the Formos ND, the last one will kind of be the big winner, because for each portion of the people who buy the key inside the Formos ND, they will make the game increase 30 more seconds till the end. And the last one hold the whole game will win the biggest awards. So for this kind of big game, it becomes like the last one will win the total. And yeah, for the Formos ND, at that time, we think it will be like a black hole smart contract, because a lot of Ethereums logged into the Formos ND smart contract. And in the end, it's also be attacked by hackers, and they congested the whole Ethereum smart contract and networks, and they steal the money. I think to 2018 October, US and Tron mainnet has launched, and we see a lot of bets such as US bet or Tron bets and casinos launched on the mainland, and we see a lot of debt games at that time. They're more like bets and casinos in that period. So for nowadays, we see a lot of fantastic debt games, such as Town Stars, such as Dark Forest. We can play, and even we can do the play to earn, such as X Infinities. Actually, this is a world that we cannot imagine in the last period. So we have no games to play in 2018. To have some fun, my friends and I even search for the Easter eggs inside Formos ND, because behind the Formos ND, there are something like the command line, and you can search for some interesting Easter eggs. For example, we see the Jackley Island. It is a private island, and I think some big whales in the centralized world try to hold a meeting in Jackley Island. And the company's name for the Formos ND is called Jackley Island. And I think they may find this one is very interesting, and they want to show their respect or something. So I will try to analyze the two games I created, and also the architecture and the gameplay I designed. I tried to illustrate my ideas to you guys, and I hope this will give you some inspirations about how to design a debt game or a blockchain game. So this game is called Cell Evolution, and during this game, I split the whole gameplay into two parts. The first one is called off-chain gameplay. For each user, he can choose 6 options, including evolution, mutate, and sleep, or some other options. He can choose their own options to cultivate their own cells. And it's more like a sandbox or a puzzle game for the off-chain gameplays, because the users will not know what happened if they mutate their cells or they involve their cells. The numbers will change, because for each cell groups, they have different characteristics. And for the on-chain part, we call it on-chain social gameplay. So actually, the interesting part is that after each user cultivates their own cells, they can try to, after they died, I mean, in the end, they will definitely die because they do not have any life cycles in the end. But after they died, they can choose to upload their cells into the world. And for all the information for the world, it is stored on the blockchain, and for each user, they can upload their different cells, and they will become like those word constructors. But the word may be destroyed if the values are imbalanced. For example, if the adaptability and the reproducibility has a huge difference, and I mean they are imbalanced, then the word will destroyed. So for some people, they want to balance the word and that let the word to evolve and to create a new word. And for some people, we see some users, they try to fix the word because they see some value are pretty low and the word is about to destroy. And for many of them, they will try to sacrifice some of their cells and upload the cells that can only help to fix and to remain the whole word. And in the end, if the numbers, I mean the characteristics of the word are pretty good, then all the people can co-create a new word, and this new word may have some titles, and this new word may differ from the Earth, and they may have some different alien stars. Actually, the interesting point inside this game is that we see a lot of people actually want to destroy the world. They may want to insert their cells and they want to destroy the world. They found these things very interesting because they think themselves as the Death Stars, they can destroy the world. So inside the cell evolution, there are some things I need to mention. First, this one is an indie game. I myself take care of all the game designs, all the coding, all the arts, and all the marketing at first. And it is a pure gameplay. There is no play to earns, and there's no tokens inside this game. And why I create this game, because I want to educate more users to let them know what is smart contract, what they can do, and how they can collaborate and co-create inside the decentralized world. And there are worldwide players, and many of them are really interested in this kind of games because they think this kind of games is quite inspirations. We had never seen the similar ideas before. Because when I publish the smart contracts on the blockchain, I have no superpower. Even I am the admin, but I have the exactly same right as all our users. So what I can do to change the game or fix the game, what I can do is only I can play the game and insert my cells inside the world. So this is a pretty crypto native, I think. And on the other hand, I also try to add in some break the routine designs. For example, we make the whole game like the social gameplay. Why I call it social gameplay? Because inside the world, you will never know who you are collaborating with, and you will never know who you are compete against with. So for example, if another groups want to destroy the world, or another group want to co-create a new world with you, you will never know. So this is like a social gameplay, and everyone can choose their own decisions. And also inside the game, we use something like the flying G's models. What I mean here is you can inherit it from the world. For example, if you are new players, you can inherit some numbers and characteristics from the world and try to advance yourselves. That means if more people are playing, the newbies and the new players will get advanced and they can cultivate more powerful cells, and they can decide and choose which way the world will be. And in the end, yeah, of course, it's much like a Babel tower. I also use some get some innovations from the Babel tower, because for the Babel tower, you do not have the really you do not have sufficient conversation between each people. And in these games also, for most of times, you cannot have sufficient conversations with your teammates or your enemies. And I will show you some screenshot about these step games. So this is cell evolution, and you can click start. And also, there are some hints inside the games. And also, yeah, you can try to reproduce try to do evolve, try to do mutate, and try to sleep. You have different options at each iterations. You have several choices for your cells, and in the end, you will cultivate your own cell. And in the universe, there are a lot of stars and different worlds. So all the people can collaborate together and try to search new worlds, or they can compete with each other and to destroy the world or something. I mean, it's all the options to each users. And actually, I think this is there is a beauty of math inside this game, because for each time, for each player, he had 6 choices, and usually they have 99 rounds. I mean, they have 99 days for at most for each cells. And this will be like 6 to the power of 99 possibilities. And for different players or different users, they can cultivate their own cells, and together they will do something like to co-create the world or destroy the world. So there are infinity possibilities. And at this point, we see the beauty of math, and maybe it can mimic the Big Bang of the universe. And for each cells and all their data and characteristics are stored on the blockchain. And even now, we can go check with the data at that time to see for different cells how the user cultivated and upload it on the blockchain. Yeah, so for this game, it's an indie game, and I keep updating after I get awards. So this game get Nebulous Incentive awards, and also get awards from Menu Award. It is an award coded by Tencent, Facebook, and TapTap, I think. And I spent 10 days for the first version to get the minimal viable product. I did everything by myself at that time. And I used 15 days for the whole gameplay programs. And also my team and I have team after that join together, and 60 days for the visual upgrade and make the whole game more like a normal game, not a geek game after that. So let's do the analysis of the gameplay. So actually inside the game, we have some consensus, which means everyone knows we have a goal. Neither this goal is create a new world, is different from the Earth, or the goal is to destroy the world. And also we see some humanity inside these games, because for normal users, what I want to do is I want to store my cells on the blockchain, because we know on the blockchain, every data is persistence is very good, and I can keep my cells on the blockchain forever. But sometimes if I want to fix the world, if I want to make the world a better place, I may sacrifice myself. I didn't store my high score cells, but I will try to store some values that can fix, that can help the world in the next steps. And that is a kind of the humanity. If you want to choose to sacrifice yourself or be selfish just to keep your record, the highest record, and everyone will see my scores. And also there are some competitions inside the game, because different groups want to discover different world, and some of them want the reproducibility to be really high, and some of them want the mutability to be really high, and they will insert into different numbers. And some of the groups even want to destroy the world, and they enjoy to be a Death Stars. So there are also competitions inside this game. And at that time, I used another small blockchain called Nebulous. We have untransparent info. So inside the game, you will never know who you are competing with, and you will also never know who you are collaborating with. So everything is like untransparent. And also you need to have your own independent thinking. You need to think by yourself what I will do, and what will everything be like after I insert these cells inside the world. So this is the games I first created, and this game is, I think it is interesting because I still love to share it with my friends. even nowadays, because I think there are some inspirations and there are some innovations I try to present to the community. The second game is called Last Trip, and this game is designed in the Sega Game Jam. It is a game jam competitions. It is a great competition worldwide for the indie games, and we will have about I think 72 hours to finish the MVP of our games. And for this game, it's pretty different. Yeah, so at first you come from a village, and this one is more like a opera scenes, and you will see the village have some stars and have some you can see the stars on the skies, and you will see some lights inside the village. And you will find some puzzles and something interesting while you are playing the games, because you will understand, okay, there is a lonely soul wandering and doing the recurrent selections. You will find your main character will never feel hungry, and you will see some clues inside the games, and that will make you feel, okay, maybe I'm not a normal main character, so maybe this is a lonely soul just wandering inside the games, and see a lot of interesting stories. And different characters will have different choices. And if you choose something different, and you will meet different people, and you will have different end of the story. And the animals inside the games, they can talk. For example, when some animals will tell you some little stories about other characters, and you can get more info and how you will choose after that, because there are some clues inside the animal's talk. Okay, the interesting part is, in the end, the destiny is not the end. I also try to design a social gameplay after that. I guess this kind of innovation from blockchain actually. So, you know, for each blockchain, you will have blocks iteratively add in the end, and each block are linked together. They are kind of the blockchain in the end. So for each time you finish the game, the characters, you can try to add inside the whole game. So for example, if you finish your games and you create your own character, and you can try to add in your character inside the book, and that will be quite interesting. And you can imagine one situation which will be, you can meet the yesterday character you just created, and you can also meet the friends. You can also meet your friends, and your friends may have some choices for you. For example, they may try to fight you, or they may try to sell some equipment to you, and also they may want to team up and give you some gold. So this is kind of interesting, because for each character, it will iteratively add inside the book, and that will make the whole game to be different, because this is like the user-generated characters, and you can meet with a lot of characters. So another interesting things inside the game that we just when we launch it, because we have a character, and it's called Teacher Cai, and Teacher Cai is like the great devil, because whenever you find this one, because whenever you find these characters, if you try to fight with him, you will die, because he's very powerful. But inside the games, the character is wandering, and even the new players may be able to see the Teacher Cai. And after that, we even need to release this clue to our community. We said, when you meet with the Teacher Cai, you need to run away, because he is so powerful. And so this is kind of the blockchain games and social games will be like totally different from the normal games, because for the normal games, you may want to have some fluent gameplay that will not let the new players to be stuck at one point. But for the blockchain, when you can meet with some characters, and if you have different choice for them, that will be really hard for the new players to come in. So inside this game, I also try to add in some break the routines innovations, such as death is not the end. You can add in your character inside the book. And also there are social gameplays because it will be interesting if you can find yourselves or you can find your friends inside the games. Maybe the friend from yesterday or maybe yourself from 10 days before. And I make the whole games like a more bespan because I want this game to be a recurrent selection games, and you will meet with different myths. You can meet with different stories and different characters, and they will tell you different stories. I mean, this is kind of interesting. I want to present to my players. And also there are some inversions of the games, because at first maybe you think this guy is good and he's helping you, but later on you will see, oh, actually he's trying to deceive you and be bad to you. And there are some inversion inside the games, and all depends on the choice you have made. And also we have a multi-puzzle because there are several puzzles you need to solve it with your teammates and with multiplayers, because you can have only one clue, but the single clue will not help you to the end. But if you play with others, that will help. If you team up with others, that will be helpful. And also we have Easter eggs. So actually, I remember in that time, most blockchain games, they are like geek games. And we love to add in some Easter eggs inside the games and to make our players or geeks feel amazing. So the puzzles inside the adventure, I think I hide more than 100 puzzles during the game, including math, physics, computer science questions and puzzles. And if you can solve that, and that you will get the awards. So there are a lot of imaginations inside the games. The puzzles may relate to the stars. I think one puzzle will be the M78, and there's a galaxy and it's very beautiful, and there's some knowledge about the stars, and also some about the religions and the tech tools. So there are a lot of clues inside the games, and many players find it very interesting. And also it is a play to earn game, I mean, because for each player, if they can fight against the fire demons in the end, and they will get Ethereum as a reward. I put in Ethereum by myself at that time. And I think I stole about 10 Ethereum at that time. It's pretty much nowadays, but at that time, it's not that kind of expensive. And yeah, of course, the play to earn game. And of course, in the end, the players get all of them. And also, we put in, for the puzzle part, we have even some buggy smart contracts. So for example, if you solve the puzzles, and you will see a smart contract, and this is a kind of Easter eggs. They are not the play to earn that inside the game, they are outside game. For the buggy smart contract, if you can find the bugs, then you can just get some rewards from it. And these are the Easter eggs that are very popular at that time. So thinking in blockchain, so I also set some interesting innovations about these areas. First, we have roundtables. It is anonymous roundtables that were decentralized to make decisions. So what I mean is that at that time, it's more likely a DAO, but the DAO this word is not that kind of popular in that time, but we actually make anonymous roundtables, and people can join the roundtables, and we can co-design and grow the game together, grow up the games together. And also during this game, what we have done is we have libraries, and we have Project Genesis and Voyagers, and these are two projects that can help other developers and other dev designers also to accelerate their projects, because their libraries, just like the Web 2.0, different developers can also import the libraries and help them to build their project faster. And also we see some traffic, and also we try to link the traffic between different blockchain games, because we design interoperable avatars across multi-chains. Because we tried to finish this one in 2018. Yeah, because we tried to finish this one in 2019 Sega Game Jams. We have other teams, and we try to use the characteristics about the blockchains. We try to use the shared avatars, that we can share the avatar with other blockchain games, and we can invoke and also summon different characters with different blockchains. And this will be interesting because we will have a multi-chain avatars, and for different games, it can summon different characters and also share the database together with the games, and that will make both games become more and more popular. And I think this point is important because nowadays we see a lot of big names, they try to build their metaverse, but the original idea at that time, because we have already discovered is that the blockchain is the metaverse. We want everything to be linked. We want every avatars and the heroes, just like the Ready Player One. The others can summon and to invoke your characters, such as the mobile inside the Ready Player One. They can be used in different blockchain. They can be used in different things, and also it will be functional across multiverse. I mean, this one is interesting because we see blockchain technology have a consensus algorithms, and it is a decentralized database. We can do a smart contract on that, and for all the dev games and for all the blockchain-driven metaverse, they are linked. And this one is totally different from the normal games and the metaverse created by the big names. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the last trip roundtables. This one is just like a DAO. I mean, the first wave of the players who solve the puzzles, they get awards, and they can also join in the anonymous roundtables. And members of the roundtable help buy the domains for us, and also the members of the roundtable, they create the game music for us. So it's more like a DAO. We co-create these games and make the games more and more interesting after we set up the roundtable. I mean, we do not know the word called DAO at that time, and we also do not have some NFTs such as the badge nowadays, but at that time, we really try to decentralize our decisions and co-create this game together with our community. And yeah, for the Genesis, it is a project, and we have smart contract. It is a multi-chain avatar smart contract, and support also Nebulous, Ethereum, Qtum, Mana, Coin, Neo, and Looms. A lot of blockchains are not working nowadays, but at that time, what we want to do is we have a shared avatar smart contract that can be invoked into different blockchains. Actually, we also publish paper after that, and at least in the scientific areas, I think this kind of idea is interesting, and we do get a good results because the paper was accepted by top-ranked computer science conference. And for the project Voyagers, we try to split different blockchain ecosystems into two sections. The first one is the infra. They have some infra and unique data, and we will not touch with that. And also we want to split, we want to have some consensus layers. And for the consensus layers, we will have the project Voyager. They can do the data synchronization. They can do the data synchronizations between multiple blockchains, and that will be helpful for the games, for the users, for the metaverse to be connected, and also to that will help them to design some multi-chain gameplay, and that is very important. So next, what I want to talk about is the blockchain games and metaverse. I mean, before we see two blockchain games I designed, maybe they are kind of old-fashioned. They are not fancy as nowadays, but we do see a lot of interesting stuff, such as play to earn, such as DAO, such as the crypto native innovations in the last period about the dApp games I have created. And nowadays, we try to and nowadays we see a lot of fantastic and innovative games and metaverse projects nowadays. And we will do some analysis about why blockchain games is so different, they are so unique, and we want to build blockchain games, and why blockchain will driven the metaverse. So the first one we want to say that the blockchain games have some characteristics that are totally different from normal games. The first one is ownership. So the ownership of your game assets is the first time you can own the first one is ownership. So actually, when the crypto assets or the game assets stored on the blockchain, it is the first time the players can own their game assets. I mean, no matter they are NFTs or the tokens on the blockchain, it is the first time they can own their own. It is the first time the players can own their game assets. We all know the story about why Vitalik feels so bad about the centralized world. I think most of the players have the similar situation with when we, such as when we play Dota or League of Legends, and when we see our favorite heroes, they change their skills, they have different weapons, and they change the data. Even we played for a long time, and the hero is not working anymore, and we may need to practice a new hero to win the game. Actually, this one makes the community no choice, because what a blockchain game will be like is when we do the upgrade, we can do the soft fork. I mean, the community who do not want to go to the new version, they can stay in the old version, and they can still keep their gameplay as a community round. This one is important because if they do not have the choice, they will leave the game. But for now, at least they are in the similar game ecosystems. They will also try to donate their energy, and they will also try to support the whole ecosystems, and that will be also helpful to the game creators. The second one is expandabilities. So for normal games, the creators or the fans, they will have no rights to do the expandability. For the normal games, I mean, the fans or the community will hardly to expand their own designs or expand their own games on the original ones, because the code is not open source, and even they are open source, the database and all other things, they are not connected, and you will never be able to read the data from the original database. But for the blockchain games, we see everything, all the key, or maybe everything, or maybe not everything, but we will see the key objects such as NFTs, the tokens, and the key game logic. They are on the blockchain, and that will be helpful for the users and the communities to expand by their own designs, and that will be high expandability for the blockchain games. For the liquidity, I mean, the liquidity is a huge difference. The liquidity for all the NFTs inside the blockchain games, I mean, the users can trade as what they want. But nowadays, for most weapons or equipments inside the normal games, you will not be able to trade them because you do not really own them. They are only data inside the centralized storage, inside the centralized database. If they have the license or get permissions from different countries or governments, maybe you will be able to trade, but also these data are not controlled by yourselves. If the game upgrade or the game is changed, then everything is changed. And also the final one will be the interoperabilities. Actually, for the blockchain games, the interoperability is really good. We see the DeFi and GameFi, everything can be connected. And for different games, they can also have different token economies. They can interoperable for they can have the interoperable avatars. They can across multi-chains and they can across multi-games. They are all possible because they use blockchain as an infra technology. Yeah, we must mention X Infinity this year because we see X Infinity is really a social phenomenon nowadays. A lot of poor people behind the poverty. We see a lot of poor people in Filipinos. They try to gather with YGG and they play with X Infinity and they get the play to earn awards and they can survive after that. So all the liquidity restricted to physical regulations are free now. We can see people try to collaborate and set up guild after that. We see a lot of game guild on the blockchain. They play games together and they earn the money to survive. I mean, these things are huge. We see the decentralized world are connected and they do make the community and the producer have a different relationships. Sometimes the community can help you to co-create the games. Sometimes we see the guild can bring you more DAUs. And sometimes we see the community can do the meme and share the games and spread it to more users. And all these things happen because all the liquidity restricted to the physical regulation are free now. The liquidity means the money can really help with the people worldwide. And this one is a huge difference. So the final section, I want to talk about blockchain GameFi and the future. I try to conclude several things why blockchain technology are so significant inside the blockchain games. So the first one is native traceable objects and immersive gameplay. The first one is native traceable objects and immersive gameplay. So this is a game I really loved when I was a child. So this one is called Diablo 2. And I played for my whole summer vacations. I didn't go out, I just played with games. And I try to find different equipments and do the MF inside this game. The MF means the magic font because the magic items inside this game are pretty cool and they have different properties and they have different characters. And some of them may have some special level up for the skills and that are really helpful. So we see the equipment inside Diablo 2. I mean, these equipments are fantastic and they have different runes. You can stick your gems or runes inside the, you can insert some runes or the gems inside the equipments and that will make your equipment level up. But we see the names such as the Agma or the Jacquard bar or something. These are the names of the runes. But what will a blockchain, what will an NFT inside blockchain be like? I mean, this kind of NFTs may have these kind of NFTs may have native traceabilities, and these are really different. For example, if you are a warrior and you have a sword, And for the sword, you try to fight against goblins or try to fight against the dragons. And everything about that, I mean, everything related that, if you store the data, then you can see the immersive game experience, because maybe your sword will change the titles to be the dragon slayer or the goblin slayer or the dragon killer or something. Everything are on the blockchain, and we can see the sword complete with you and fight different monsters, and in the end it become legendary weapons because it do a lot of things. I mean, this kind of gameplay will be kind of interesting if we can store that and use that NFTs inside the game. What I want to mention here is we see no game is perfect. For example, we see the DeFi, this one is called Fuel Combos, and you can try to link with different DeFis and pack them into one transactions. You can have different calls with different DeFis. And for the games later, I mean, for all the blockchain games, each module or each script can decide different functions. We can customize the gameplay if we want to experience some game Legos. What I mean is, for example, we really love some RPG games, but inside the RPG games, we may have some mini games. They may have some small puzzles or some small mini games. They are not related to the main scenarios, but they can help you to find some weapons or find some pets. But for some mini games, I mean, the players have no choice. I mean, I'm not sure how about other players, but for myself, some type of game I'm really good at, but for some type of game I'm really bad at. Maybe for some action games, I cannot play them very well. But for the RPG games, I have no choice because everything they are not open source, and you cannot customize your own gameplays before you are doing this game. But for the blockchain games, everything can be game Legos. I mean, they can be modularized. Maybe I can select the whole game is the RPG, but inside the mini games, I can try to be something like the puzzles and something like the sandbox, and maybe that will give me a better game experience. And all these kind of things can be settled down on the blockchain. The third one is UGCs and programmable. So this one is really huge inside the blockchain game history. This game is called Dark Forest. We see there are a lot of players love Dark Forest, and they spend tons of times and write their own scripts and write their programs and try to finish the task inside the Dark Forest. Actually, the Dark Forest ones, there are a lot of geeks. They love to code. And for these kind of games, they are also a kind of proof of work, because we see a lot of smart mind. They try to team up and they try to fight against each other to get the final loot, which is the NFTs that will be allocated to different players in the end of each round. And I also have 1 stars, the NFTs from one round. I can't remember that, but actually inside this game, it's more like a gig games. Then why I see the UGC and the programmable are really important in this story, because we see the rise of new collaborations and the communities, which are DAOs nowadays. They are really important. We see Dark Forest community round. Actually, today, the Dark Forest community, there's a DAO member called Marrow DAO, and it is a sub-DAO of Rihanna's. Actually, today, the community of Dark Forest, they hold a Dark Forest community round by the Marrow DAO. and they try to start the game today. And this is a new collaboration between the community and the official game designers. The community can try to approach with different directions. They can have different game goals, and also they can activate the community, and they can bring more traffic and more players inside the whole ecosystems. And everything is possible because for all the code about Dark Forest, they are the smart contract and the code, they are open source, and also they can be forked because they are blockchain games. So in the future, we believe this will be the genesis of the metaverse. And for the genesis of metaverse, we do believe the blockchain-driven metaverse, I mean, every NFTs, avatars, and games are connected. Thank you very much. This is my topic today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Xiao, for today's lecture. It was very informative. And Mr. Xiao is the creator of Cell Evolution, Love Tree, Chain IDE, and many other blockchain-based tools. His work is well recognized and has won many rewards. Thank you so much, Mr. Xiao, for your time. And for more information about Mr. Xiao's work, you can go through Mr. Xiao's research papers and the tools he has built. Lecture 3 is again by Mr. Julien. The title is Mastering Blockchain Hands-on Experience for Blockchain Games Development. This lecture by Mr. Julien will the actual steps of making your own blockchain games and escort them to start off on the right path by giving everyone involved a better understanding of how much work the actual game may take. So now I would like to invite Mr. Julien again to represent his topic.
Hello everyone, I'm Julien. Welcome back to our session number 2. Before we start, I would like to have a quick recap for what happened in the session number 1. First is we introduced the game creator and game CreatorDX and the relationship between them. And we also show you some demo for the game created by game creator. And we also show you a ETH integrated game, which is created by game CreatorDX. I guess some of you are already interested with our product, so you may take a look with our website. If you don't, let's take a look together with our website, gamecreatordx.io. Currently, we supported ETH and Conflux, these two public chains. And there is 2 games, which is developed by game CreatorDX and already released. Underwood. This one is the most popular card game in China, and you can think this one is the blockchain version of the Underwood card game. Nash Metaverse. This one have funded over $1 million USD on Binance smart contract when it's released. And here is our roadmap and timeline. So in the end, before the end of the 2021, we will release our first version in Chinese for the game CreatorDX. And in about July 2022, we will release the international version, which is the English version of the game CreatorDX. Should you have any questions or interest, as usual, please drop an email at oversee@gamecreator.com.cn. Alright, let's back to our topic. In this session, we will cover following content. First, we will introduce the template and module in game CreatorDX, and then we'll introduce the blockchain plugins. Then, we will step by step tell you how to create your own blockchain game. So we will majorly focus on how to interact your game with ETH smart contract with these 4 basic features. So first is pool token name. Second is pull token balance. Third is transfer token. And fourth, airdrop token. After finish all of above, we will then create a NPC to interact your ETH smart contract features with this game. All right, so first we need to open the game creator and the ARPG template. So we will using the ARPG template today to demonstrate how to integrate with ETH smart contract. And let's first to making sure the environment settings are okay. So first we click here, plugin manager, to making sure the ETH plugin is installed. So in this game CreatorDX version, by default, we will having this plugin installed for you. Then this module and template already be loaded. So we can click here, menu, and open a template, and we load a new template. All right, finished. So the template just be loaded again. And this template you probably get very familiar with, because when in our session number 1, the demonstrate ARPG game, in this one, the little node here's going to here, tackle all those enemies, and save the goal. Okay, this big enemy, maybe a little bit deeper. So let's back to the first scenes when this little node here is born. Since we are creating the ETH smart contract interactive game, so we would the better to load and initialize the ETH smart contract when we just enter this game. So we're gonna to put the parameters here when enter this scene to load the smart contract address and ABI, those kind of the parameters. Now I'm going to show you how to put these parameters into it. So in this session, I assume you already developed your own smart contract with the Chain IDE. So we already having the demo IDE here. So we're not gonna to demonstrate how to create and develop your own smart contract, but you can, just using our demo one. So here is our ERC20 example smart contract. So in this contract, it will have the following features. So the token name is test token, and the symbol is TS, and total supply is 1 million, and the demicode is 18. So this is important. Later we will using these parameters. And the first function is get token name and balance off, and the transfer. These two functions, we will call them later. And also airdrop token. All right, let's close this Chain IDE editor and back to our game editor. So what we're gonna do when this game enter the scene? So we're gonna to click here to generate some events when enter the scene. So first, I would like to put some strings into the variables. So let's randomly pick one, let's say 10, and name it as our smart contract address. Smart contract address. And in this demo, we already deployed a smart contract for test in the chain. So I just copy and paste the smart contract address here and click confirm. So what will happen when this game is initialized is it will load into this scene and will load write this smart contract address into the variables number 10. Then we're gonna to put the ABI into it as well. So number 11, smart contract ABI, contract ABI. Let me copy and paste from someone else. Copy, paste here, confirm. After we finish these two, we would like to having this game pop up an interface to having the player log into their own wallet. So now we're gonna to pop up a interface. So before we add the interface popping up here in the event, we'd better to create the interface first. So click here, database, and choose the interface. And we create a new interface, someone in maybe 20 number. And we drag and release a frame. Make it a little bit bigger. And then we draw a button here. Then we can optionally put some string here. Let me put some string here. Please connect your wallet. Adjust the position and change the button name as well. Connect. Okay, we just finished the GUI of this interface. And but we forgot the most important things is to put an event on this button to call the ETH smart contract. So we click here, click events, and create a new event. When we click this button, double click here, and we use the plugin, which is the ETH plugin and ETH connect wallet using this one. All right, now we config all the parameters to connect it to the wallet. So the first parameters is the connection status. So this means after the connection between the wallet, it will write down the connection status into these variables in the game. And the second is the address of the wallet. After successful connected, it will write down the wallet address into the game variables. And we're gonna to specify this one into a new one. It's using the number 12, these string variables as wallet address. Confirm. And here is the chain ID or the chain network ID. So sometime when we developing the game, we probably using a test network for the chain to debug. So we put the chain network ID here as a new string variables. It will show arrows if there's something goes wrong, and click confirm. Now here it appears all the parameters. What will happen after we click this button? Oh, I forgot a very important thing about this button is when we click the button, it will popping up the plugin to connect with a wallet, but we forgot after the connection, we should expect this interface be closed itself. So we click here to add another event, which is the interface and close interface. Yes. After the connection, it will close in this one and back to the game. So this is very important. I almost forget. And let's click apply and confirm. Back to here. All right, now we're back to the game creator again. So we just finished the string for the contract address and the contract API. Then we're going to create a popping up show interface with which is the interface we just created here. Yes, number 20. And yeah, confirm. Yeah, I forgot to name the number 20 interface, wallet connection. Yeah, here we go. And when we're doing the login or the wallet connection, we would like this interface being always displayed there. So we will add another function or event here called waiting this interface. So we click here to add another event, which is in the plugin command to wait and the interface close. And we choose the interface, which is this one, 20, wallet connection. Say confirm. Yes. So now we are okay. And for the wallet connection interface, we can also modify it here in the data and the interface, which is here, connecting ETH1. So we're going to change it from Chinese to English. Connect wallet. And this one. Okay. Here we go. Switch here from the events to the component itself, basics. Connect ETH wallet. And this one. Select your wallet. Right. This one not connected. And network. All right. Apply. And then here, send in the transaction. Submit transaction. All right. Here is your wallet address. Oops. And put this guy a little bit here. Test is not connected. And this one. Oops. Double click here, which is the network ID. Not connected. When it's connected, it will reflect the actual variables there. All right, and this is the receiving address. And this is ETH amount. All right, this button, change it into submit. And this one, verifying transaction. There you go. TS hash, good, apply. Then we move into the next one. This is the contract transaction popping up. Contract confirm pop up. And this one, verifying transaction. Please wait. And this one is creating contract. Please act or please switch to your ETH wallet. All right, confirm. So we finished this interface when we connect into our ETH smart contract. Confirm. All right, let's have a test run to see what happened. All right, so we click here, test game, save, yes, save the game, save the project and the test run. So it will deploy to our web browser. And we already saw this interface popping up. Please connect to your wallet. Let's click this button, connect, and show my wallet, which is the MetaMask, and my test account. Yes, connect, connecting, yes, connected. So finish. Yeah, we got some problem. So it not automatically disappeared. So we will back to our game creator and go to the interface to see what happened there. So the interface is the first group and the level 20 wallet connection. And this button, we put some events there. And after this one, we close the interface and we are closing this number 20 interface, not closing the interface number 1. And we apply, confirm, confirm, and we test again. All right, we connect, select, it's connected because I already logged into my wallet. All right, finished. Now it's disappeared, and it's just a the game you are quite familiar. The stakes, yes, and we're good to go. Let me go back. Haha. All right, let's back to the game CreatorDX and config the next one. So in order to make our debug easier, so we decided to put something here in the game main interface to reflect the status of the smart contract. So let's go to the database, interface, and the game interface. This one. Zoom out a little bit. Game main interface. So we will put a test here to reflect the smart contract address. So we drag and release a string here and put the string in a test, say wallet address. Make it a little bit bigger. And test color, let's do it in white. All right. That's the statics test. And we drag again, another, and make it in white as well. But this time we are not put a static test. We want it to show the variables, which is our wallet address. And this should appear after these variables being written from the ETH plugin. And we also would like to have the balance into it. So here, say token balance. And test color, make it easier for read. White. Oops. Undo. Okay. Test color, white. Apply. Then we probably need a new variables here as the token balance. All right. Apply, confirm. All right, now we're gonna to create a NPC to interact with our player with the ETH smart contract. Let's adjust the orientation and name this NPC as ETH operator. And then we create a click event to this NPC. So first, we would like when our player click on this NPC, we would like to show the choices. So the menu number 1 should be get token name. The option number 2 should be get token balance. The third one should be transact or transfer token. The fourth one is my favorite, airdrop token. And put a cancel there. Okay, we click confirm. And the first option, get the token name. Let's config this one. Double click here and using the plugin, called contract. And let's put a get token name here. And token name address, we should put the smart contract address into it. So we already put this into the game string variables. So we just very simply call this game string and ABI did the same. Just choose it, super fast. Then the function name is name, which is defined by the smart contract you developed or we use it for test. And here is the execution result. It's coming back from the return code as a 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. If the return code is 0, which means everything is good. And the return data is the token name. Should be a string of a, name of the token name. Let's put this into the token number, the string variables number 15, token name. Confirm. Then we config the next one, get token balance. Double click here, plug in, ETH call contract, get token name, token balance. Smart contract address, ABI, function balance of, which also defined by your smart contract, and public parameters is your wallet address. And I'm pretty sure your player just want to know their own wallet balance and return the number into the token name. Sorry, it's not the token name, token balance. And the decimeter is 18, which is also defined by your smart contract. Execution code is return code. Yes, confirm. And also add a pop-up message. Show test. Hey, your token balance is insert a string token balance here and confirm. Now we move to the next one, transfer token. Double click, plug in, call contract, transfer token, smart contract address, ABI function, transfer. And this function, we need two parameters. One is the destination wallet address. Another is a transfer amount. Since we have Flugo, we put 15 here, and Demico is 18, which is defined by your smart contract. And we hardcore a destination wallet address here. So in your own game, you can have a player input that field and to have player input this two value by themselves. But here we just hardcore, and the mode is write and confirm the transaction, and execution result return to this one return code, and the transaction address, and return to here a new string. And let me copy paste the destination wallet here. All right, confirm. And after the transaction, we want this NPC to pop up a test message to our player, return code. Chain code is a volume, this one, and transaction address is a string, this one, transaction address. Confirm. Then we move to the airdrop. Config this one. Plug in, call contract, and this section is called airdrop token. Smart contract address, as usual, ABI, and the function name for the airdrop is also defined by a smart contract. In here is airdrop token. There we go. And the mode is not read, it should be the write, and we need to confirm the transaction and return the execution return code here and the transaction address here and confirm. And after the airdrop finished, as usual, for a test here, return code transaction address. Oops. The string here. That's it. Okay, so let's have a recap for what we had just did. So first is the get the token name, then get the token balance, then transfer token to this receive address, and 15 is not 150 because I'm a frugal, and airdrop. Then let's have a test run. Let's click here, test, and connect it to my wallet. Yes, connected. Oops. So the visibility for the white is not very great here. So later we're gonna change this to the red one, which is increasing the visibility. And let's click here to have some interaction with this ETH operator or NPC. So first, get the token name. Okay, my token name is test token. Sounds good. Then get my token balance. All right, my token balance is 950. Sounds good. Okay, now it disappear. It's appeared here. Then transfer token for 15. Yes, 15 TS. And confirm. Verifying the transaction. Since this is a write behavior, so it will having the full transaction in the blockchain. It could take a couple seconds. All right. My transaction confirmed. Return code is 0. So far so good. And the transaction address is here. And then we check our token balance again. It's become 900. All right, so let's do the most amazing one, airdrop token. Say airdrop token. Yes, confirm. I like it. So as same as the transaction, transfer token, this transaction, it will take a couple seconds to verify. All right. Transaction address is this one, return code is 0, and I received 25 token. And let's check my token balance again. Oh, wow, it's 1,000. So we're gonna to modify our interface very quickly to making sure the visibility for those debug messages having the very good visibility. Move here, wallet address from the test color from white to the red. Yep. And the string, red as well. Token balance, red. String, red as well. Then let's finish the last part, which is to create an NPC to have more interaction with this game. So we will put a new NPC here. Small tiny guy, orientation here, and we have a event. We have the click event here, double click, can add a logic and the different conditions. And if the number it is greater or smaller than 1,000, my token, then it will say, I can't let you go there. And the condition should be the numeric from the token balance. And confirm. So if the token balance and has an else set in there. If the token balance is smaller than 1,000, then pop up a test message, say your token balance is under 1,000. I can't let you go. Confirm. Other else, then show another. You are super rich. I will give the way to you. Confirm. And after display this test, we want to move this NPC, jump here to some position to give the way. So we click the scenes, not this one, the scene object, set the object behavior, and we want this guy to jump to a place. So in here, we can figure out the sojourn. You can saw here, it is a position. We want this little guy to jump to here, which is a 7, 9. And we can put this x-axis into 7 and y-axis into 9. And say, yes, confirm. And yes, it is jumping. And let's do it again. Phew, good. And confirm. That's it. And before we have a test, let's have a check for all of those settings. Get token name and write into the string token name. Sounds good. And get token balance. Get the token balance off, and wallet address, and read into the token balance. Oh, we need to save as a number, and numeric return variables should be here. Number 28 token balance. So making sure this is the number. And transfer token, transfer address, destinations, amount, and this is right, and confirm transaction, return code, and return address, which is good, and we already test that. And then here, the NPC, it's, well, yes, compare with the number 28, this number. And we name this NPC as a blocker. And we probably need to change the game main interface as well, because it originally shows the balance is a game string, and we now should having this to display as a variables, which is numeric variables, and have it display as red. And number is token balance number 28. This numeric variables sounds good. And confirm. So let's have a test. All right, connect to my wallet. Sounds good. Now the wallet address is appeared here, and the token balance is 0. So I talk to this blocker. A token balance is under 1,000. I can let you go. This is working as intended. And we talk to this ETH operator, and airdrop me some token. Confirm. So verifying the transaction. Good. And check my token balance. 1,100. Sounds good. Let's talk with him again. Wow, I'm super rich, and he'll give my way to me. Okay. Now we continue to the game. All right. It's a big win. So this is all the content today for the session number 1 and session number 2. Should you have any questions or interest, please welcome to drop us an email at oversee@gamecreator.com.cn.
Thank you so much, Mr. Julien, once again for really a great session. I believe there is much to learn for the audience. They can learn how to make a game by themselves from your lecture. A reminder about tomorrow's session. Tomorrow's session will be starting at 6 p.m. PST, and we have invited 2 speakers for tomorrow's session. We will be discussing Module 3, Blockchain Game Ecosystem. The first speaker is Mr. Khale, is the CMO of Matrix Labs, and he will be discussing about Matrix World. The second speaker is Miss Blair. She is the CBO of White Matrix, and she will be discussing about how blockchain gaming is taking the crypto ecosystem to the next level. Regarding global Metaverse Bootcamp, the team leaders should make sure all the team members are working on the project. If you have any questions or facing any problem during the project development, please feel free to ask the admins or the moderators in the Discord groups. And if you like these lectures, please do subscribe our channel and like the video and share with your friends. Thank you so much for attending today's lecture. See you tomorrow.